Hello and welcome to APB Design, and today the BunkerBuster asks, I'd be interested in seeing how to make decals that make the clothes seem to have holes in them or specific body parts. I hope you get what I'm saying. I definitely do believe I understand what you were saying, so let's go ahead and get started. So just to start off, we're going to just use a basic black shirt for this, and we're going to create a new decal symbol. And one of the things what we're going to be working with is inverted masks. So it's kind of good practice to have some of these other symbols unlocked to kind of use them to your advantage. But let's go ahead and try, as an example, we're going to use this one right here. Okay. So what we're going to do with this is we're going to actually duplicate it, and we're going to make the top layer an invert mask. Okay. So the bottom one now is the one that's going to be changing color, but anything else outside of this symbol is not going to show up. So now what we're going to do is there is a specific color that you need, and it's going to be based around your skin, if that makes sense. So if I'm not mistaken, I think my skin color is if I can remember, it should be around 312 or 3 something 12, 3 2, yeah, it's 2712 for the color of skin that I have. You'll have to determine this on your own. It's a little difficult to get the correct color, but if you just reference images and kind of switch back and forth between the symbol and your character, you'll be able to find the right hue for this project. But anyway, we're going to duplicate this one, we're going to make an outline, and we're going to color the outline black. So now it should have this kind of cartoony kind of look to it. Now, what gives this like a depth, so to speak, where it shows that it's actually a tear in the clothing, is you need some kind of like gradient masks, or just not gradient masks, I'm sorry, just gradients in general, gradient clouds, gradient lines, whatever you want to use. For this one, I'm just going to use a couple of these black ones here. Just going to move them around towards the edges of it. Let's flip that one actually, and we're going to do a black one like that. And all you want to do is make sure that it kind of lines up properly and goes over the entire symbol that we have here. Now, for the sake of it, let's see, we're going to add some clothing tear on top of it. So let's use this one, sure. No, actually, that doesn't look like a tear. We could probably use something like this, actually. And we're going to move this above the invert mask. So now this doesn't really matter to be above. You can move it anywhere outside of the symbol. Let's change it one more time. Let's go with this one here. So we have our symbol here that we're gonna what we're gonna do is just kind of make it look like it's kind of torn a little bit. It's like overlapping. It doesn't matter really where you place it, as long as it's the same color of the t-shirt or pattern or whatever you're doing. I'm gonna go ahead and add this in here, some splatter. Add some red or something. Get a little blood in our lives. Yeah. Toss one of these down as well, because gradient clouds are great. But put that right about over here. And for the sake of it, hell, let's add some blue, because, you know, bruising. And we'll put that below on this side, and we're just gonna change the opacity on that a little bit. There we go. Alright, so it kind of doesn't look like much. It like in general, it just doesn't look like a lot. It really comes to this. So the other thing you want to do is actually you want to add some shadows under the clothing tear, so it shows that the piece of clothing has some sort of shadow to it. So what you could do is essentially duplicate it and kind of stretch it a little bit, and then change the opacity and just kind of move it down and mainly focus it around the skin so that it's more like visible. So something like this. So now we're going to go ahead and save this. We'll call this our clothing tear. And now that we have our clothing tear, we can go ahead and apply it to our character here. And let's put it on the back because there's a lot of room on the back here. So generally speaking, this is actually a solid way on how to do this. I mean, the only thing that you're not going to get is the shine of the back and the character model itself, because that's a different texture. However, you can definitely make this sort of thing for just about anything you want. But as you can see at a distance, it kind of looks quite natural with the shadow from the tear of the clothing coming down, and just whatever bruising you may add or may not add depending on your character's skin type and whatnot. But generally speaking, that's basically the process of making something like this, and that's about it. Thank you for the request there, and hopefully I can help you out next time. So if you have a request, go ahead and put in the comments and we'll work on it from there. Thank you very much for watching.